Avangrid Renewables is dedicated to employee safety with a commitment to training. The following media is one way Avangrid Renewables supports our mission. Tailboard meeting. A tailboard shall be performed before driving to address all hazards and concerns. They should include but not limited to weather, including fog, ice, snow, and rain. Changing road conditions and best routes of travel between the turbines and O&M building. Roles of the spotter. Special concerns of known farming and logging activity in the area. Making sure that ERE equipment is checked before leaving the building. Determining the best use of communication and testing these devices, including radios and cell phones. Vehicle inspection. Prior to departure, a pre-trip vehicle inspection must also be conducted, checking functionality of all lights internally and externally on vehicle, as well as any dash maintenance lights or warning lights after starting. Fix or replace any defects. Check all fluid levels to ensure they meet manufacturer's suggested level. Ensure vehicle is stocked with appropriate gear for the season, such as food and energy bars, extra water, warm clothes, and heavy boots, a snow shovel, tire chains, and extra hand warmers. Check onboard ERE equipment, including AED, first aid, and fire extinguisher. Load and secure all the gear in the back of the vehicle. Use tie-down straps or other securing methods as needed. Ensure that items inside the cab are not going to become projectiles in an accident or hard braking. Cell phone. While driving, in-cab distraction should be kept to a minimum. The passenger is the co-driver and is not just along for the ride and is responsible to assist the driver. Adjusting the radio, answering portable radio traffic, cell phone calls and texts should be handled by the co-driver when available. A co-driver should minimize distractions and help the driver as much as possible. Checking intersections, watching for obstacles, watching for deer and livestock are a few things a partner can do to help avoid an incident. If there isn't a co-driver, the driver should pull over in a safe area and then communicate. Speed limit follow distance. When following other vehicles on roadways, do not follow other vehicles too closely. 4 seconds is the distance needed to ensure adequate time for braking and collision avoidance. A 4-second following time is determined by waiting for the vehicle ahead of you to pass a stationary object and start counting. By the time you reach the object, you should be at about 4 seconds. Adjust your speed accordingly to maintain this distance. Parking and unloading. When parking at a wind tower, there are several considerations to be taken into effect. Parking upwind of a tower whenever possible. If anything is accidentally dropped, the wind may carry it away from the vehicle rather than towards it. Park facing into the wind when possible. This can avoid the wind catching an opening door and damaging it. After unloading bags and gear at the turbine, the vehicle should not be left under the radius of the tower. Objects falling from the tower can damage the truck and especially the windshield. In the event of an emergency situation, an intact windshield will be needed to depart the area. Fallen tree. Be alert while driving. Watch for hazards in the road and take care of problems as you find them. Washboard roads are very common, and speed should be reduced to not make them worse. Do not leave hazards in the road such as downed branches, litter, etc. Under ideal conditions, these are easily seen. But at night or in inclement weather, they may be run over. Always wear proper PPE while moving obstacles and watch for other vehicles. Wildlife and farm animals. Wildlife pose a significant threat to us while driving. Deer and cows are commonly found on roadways. Watch for deer during peak seasons and be extra vigilant during the dawn and dusk hours, as they tend to move more during those times. If cattle or horses are found outside of the fence, try to locate the owner and let them know. Some areas have rattlesnakes, scorpions, and poisonous spiders. The area around the vehicle, turbine, and area of work should be scanned before starting work. O&M backup. Anytime backing is to take place, the use of a spotter is required. In some cases, 2 spotters may be needed. Clear and concise hand signals must be agreed upon before moving the vehicle. Obey all stop commands, and if you lose sight of the spotter, stop. This may be as simple as moving from a light area outside into a dark shop where visibility can be reduced. The spotter should always place himself where he can be easily seen and also able to see any objects that may be struck. Vehicle recovery. Use of a vehicle to recover another should only be attempted after traditional methods have failed, such as shoveling mud, sand, or snow out from around the tires, or by simply pushing on the vehicle. Proper use of spotters during vehicle recovery is critical. Never pull from the front of the vehicles. Always use approved equipment such as the bubba rope and soft shackles. Soft shackles make for soft projectiles if they should fail and should be used whenever possible. Inspect all recovery gear before use and only rig accordingly to the manufacturer's recommendations. Never use rigging in lieu of recovery gear or vice versa. Always attach recovery gear to solid points on the vehicle, such as the tow hitch. Do not wrap recovery gear around axles or bumpers. Avoid spinning tires and try to get momentum up, but too much momentum can slingshot them into the back of you, so don't overdo it. Testing out the bubba rope on an unstuck vehicle in a controlled environment is recommended to get the feel for it. It cannot be overstated enough that good communication is important between the spotter and driver. This will help prevent damage to the vehicles or personnel. Properly store all gear back in its bag to avoid it finding its way into rigging equipment. Never use outside contractors or personal vehicles or equipment for recovery. If a vehicle cannot be safely recovered, a professional towing service should be called.
At Avangrid Renewables, our employees are our most valuable asset. Whether driving on personal business or on behalf of the company, operating a motor vehicle is one of the highest risk activities you'll engage in on a day-to-day basis. It is Avangrid's expectation that employees follow all safety rules and laws while behind the wheel. We ask that you please take this training seriously for your safety and the safety of others.